Hi, welcome to Finding the Word. I am Melanie Brown. It's a phrase today, actually. It's too far. And this has jumped in there because this wasn't what I was working on. I'm working on something else and it'll come. I will finish that and do it later. But this was current. This is what I was walking in today. And it jumped ahead. It took over what I was doing. I had to jump in the Word and just see, can I find too far? This is what I need to see. I need to look it up. And so I'm excited about sharing this word. But I got up today and I was like, let me tell my sister, I'm going to be going to this particular store she likes. I wanted to go there before I left to go on the trip. We didn't make it. So now that I was still back home, I'm like, okay, we can go today. So I called her up. She's like, cool. Lexi also was like, she wanted to come because she didn't have anything going on and she was early. And she's like, I'm by myself. Can I come? Sure. So we jump in the car, we go over there, go to the gas station and get gas and everything. And I get on the freeway. Now there's a big long bridge called the Buckman Bridge that we have to go across. It's a good 3-4 miles. I don't really care for bridges. The higher they are, the worse it is. This one's not too high and I'm kind of used to it, but it's a good almost 4 miles. It's a long way. So we're about to approach this bridge, and where I got on, there was no other exits before you're going to go across it. This was the last exit before you hit that bridge and go on across. I hear a ding, 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 and I look down. The car is overheating. So I had to kind of, just quickly get off the freeway. There were some orange barrels I had to kind of go between and pull over to let it cool down. I am like, where is this coming from? We had already replaced the thermostat not terribly long ago. At least it didn't seem that terribly long ago. I do lose track of time. It could have been longer than I think. But it wasn't that long ago. So I don't know. It's just like maybe something else is going on. So I was like, okay, call my husband. He's like, well, so there's nowhere for you to really turn around. I said, no, because there's only spot I see, I'd have to go across all the traffic and I'd have to go into this little space where the police officers are usually sitting trying to catch people speeding. It has a big old no U-turn with a red thing around it on the highway. And I was thinking I could just try it anyways. Even if I could get across freeway, I don't know if that would be a good idea. I could explain to the police officer if somebody happens to come that I'm trying to turn around, but it just didn't seem like a great idea. I felt desperate doing that. But my husband's like, you've gone too far. Basically, I was too far in on the freeway and too far from any other exit to be able to turn around. I had to just go. But I was like, I can't stop on this bridge. You'll be calling the paramedics if I have to pull over on this bridge. Not going to be good. So, and the one thing that gets me through on the bridges is to keep it moving quickly and get on to the other side. Stopping didn't feel like an option. So I was like, well, it's cooled down some. We got to go. We've gotten too far in to turn back. This is where the lesson is. He's saying to me, you're going to be okay. You know what? And because he was working on the van, which I had told you guys yesterday morning, the van was not in commission. He couldn't come and get me. The children are gone. Lena's working a double. The other one's gone. There was no one to come. So it's like, you just gone too far. You got to go. You got to keep going. So I made it on a cross, prayed myself on a cross. He was like, you're going to get there. You're going to be okay. And, we'll come and get you if we have to. Later, or send for you, do something. But I really think you'll make it. This was his thought. Of course you think I'm going to make it. He always thinks everything's going to be okay. This is his phrase. It'll be all right. Well, but he was right again. So, and I did make it, and we prayed our way through and talked that car right and made it back. But I wanted to jump in here in the word, and I'm like, where is too far? I want to know what the scripture says. Is the phrase too far there? What is it saying about too far? What can I learn? And so when I got too far, it was Exodus. Exodus had the phrase too far, and it's in Exodus verse 28. And this is the story of Pharaoh. This is where Pharaoh was not letting the people go, and they kept having plagues coming. This particular plague has to do with the flies. And in verse 20, it reads, then the Lord told Moses, get up early in the morning and stand in Pharaoh's way as he goes down to the river. Say to him, this is what the Lord says, let my people go so they can worship me. If you refuse, then I will send swarms of flies on you, your officials, your people, all the houses. The Egyptian homes will be filled with flies, and the ground will be covered with them. But this time I will spare the region of Goshen where my people live. No flies will be found there. Then you will know that I am the Lord, and that I am present even in the heart of your land. I will make a clear distinction between my people and your people. This miraculous sign will happen tomorrow. And the Lord did just as he had said. A thick swarm of flies filled Pharaoh's palace and the houses of his officials. The whole land of Egypt was thrown into chaos by the flies. Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron. All right, go ahead. Offer your sacrifices to God, he said, but do it in this land, here. But Moses replied, that wouldn't be right. The Egyptians detest the sacrifices we offer to the Lord our God. Look, if we offer our sacrifices here where the Egyptians can see us, they're going to stone us. We must take a 3-day trip into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God, just as he has commanded us. All right, go ahead, Pharaoh replied. I'll let you go into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord your God, but don't go too far away. Now hurry and pray for me. Moses answered, as soon as I leave you, I'll pray to the Lord, and tomorrow the swarms of flies will disappear from you and your officials, all your people. But I am warning you, Pharaoh, don't lie to us again and refuse to let the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. So Moses left Pharaoh's palace and pleaded with the Lord to remove all the flies. And the Lord did as Moses asked. And he caused the swarms of flies to disappear from Pharaoh, his officials, and his people. Not a single fly remained. But Pharaoh again became stubborn and refused to let the people go. There is from the top to bottom things here, and I'm really thankful that I had gone too far to turn around today with that lesson so that I could come and be reminded about these things and see these things. Number one, God always gives you instructions. He gives you things to do. When we are in bondage, when we are wanting to be freed, when we are held captive, and this is through the enemy in various ways. It could be debt up to here. It could be a situation in a relationship that's difficult that you need out of. It could be all kinds of things that are going on that you need assistance with that could be bondage for you in various ways. The Lord gives instructions. He shows up. He is always there. And he was saying, let my people go. And this is what you're going to go say, and this is what you're going to go do. When you have someone to deal with, when you have something to deal with, a situation where you have to confront what's going on, he's going to give you the words to say. He's going to let you know what to do. And so you just have yet to follow and just obey. So when he goes and says this to him, he says, I'm going to spare the region where my people live. No flies will be there. You're going to know I am the Lord. This is something else that I'm seeing. He's saying you're going to always know that I'm the Lord your God, that I'm present. And so despite where you are in the midst, they're in the midst of with their enemies, those who do not believe what they believe and who are against what they believe and won't even let them go and worship the Lord their God in the way that they have been instructed. But he's still right there where you are in the midst with his people, with letting people know these are my people. Those might be yours. These are mine. And it was a clear distinction made, it says, between their people and his people. And the miraculous signs would then happen. He was in the midst, in the heart of that land, and he was letting them know that he is the Lord their God and that he is present, because that is where he stays with his people, despite whatever our situations or where we are. And then also, I see where he's saying, go, fine, go. They can be put to the point where you are going to do the thing that the Lord has said that you're going to do. And he said, pray for me. Isn't it funny how people cannot believe and not be a part of and not really deal with the things that you're doing? But when things get ugly, when they really go down and there's difficulty, they're going to go ahead and say, well, why don't you pray? Go on, hurry up, pray for me too. I want out. When we're trapped or when we're in the corner, it's so much easier then to ask the Lord to do these miracles, to go before him, please help and do all of this. And then as soon as everything goes back, they're saying as soon as it was a little better and they disappeared and he wasn't under that pressure, he became stubborn again. And sometimes this is how we do. We'll be asking the Lord to spare us. I'm sick, or we didn't ate something we shouldn't, did something we shouldn't. How many times does that happen? And then you're just like, oh, I don't feel good. Oh, my blood pressure's up and I'm having issues and health scares and stuff. And we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. And then next thing you know, you're somewhere with something you shouldn't have or doing something you shouldn't be doing. You're right back in the situation again. And so, Lord, help us with this. Help us with this because it's similar in that situation. And I'm seeing where he's like, hurry, pray for me. But he's, when he goes and takes care of it, as soon as everything's better, he's right back hardened heart and not caring. But I feel like the Lord honored the prayers of Moses. That's the other thing I saw. That whenever Moses would come and he would plead and he would speak for and he would pray, the Lord honored it. He honored the prayer of his servant. That's the one thing also that we have to see here and rejoice about. He honors our prayers. If we're coming before him and we're earnestly praying for situations and things, he will honor that. He will listen. He will hear the desperate cries to him, and relief then can come for us. I feel like these were such great things here. I'm looking at this and really seeing this in our life. Now, I was like looking at the situation and thinking earlier of what God was explaining with this. So I made it back. Yes, is right. It'll be okay. You'll be back home. Blow the heat. We've been through this before when cars overheated. The car is almost paid for. I'm just like, oh, you just wanted to get your car paid off and enjoy that sometimes for a while when you're sick of these car payments. But, she's getting older. And so it's like, and a lot of miles ordered. It's just things go wrong. It's just the nature of cars. And so, but I blew the heat, made it just like he said. I was very thankful for that. But the fact that I went too far, what's the lesson here? So we know that we see all of the wonderful things that we're seeing here that the Lord has shown us to understand for life, that we can put into the situations we're in right now and how he dealt with his people, that he's in our midst and all of that. Wonderful. I'm so thankful for this passage and for this revelation about these things. But then I realized today that sometimes we go too far to really turn back. And there's a reason for that. If I had been a little further up and there was an exit closer, a way for me to jump off and not go all the way there, I would have absolutely gone off and gone right back home and felt like that was all that I could do, that I didn't have any choices, that was it. I had to go back. We're going to have to figure out what's going on. I can't do this. When I was able to do it. I was able to do it, and honestly, without it too much of a hitch, once I realized that it was overheating and I had to blow the heat, that we had to kind of take it slow, don't be gunning it too much, which I don't need to do anyways. I could get on back, get to where I was going. We had a wonderful time. It really wasn't even any more of a thought. We didn't even talk about it too much anymore. Didn't overheat again. We never had to pull over. It was not the outcome I thought. It appeared that I wasn't going to make it. So in other words, you can be in a situation where because of what you see, you may not feel like you're going to make it. You may not be able to finish what it is that you started. This could be a business. This could be a relationship, a project. You may feel like you can't do it. You're not going to see it through to the end. But the thing is, sometimes we've gone too far. We can be at a point where we're saying, I've gone too far to turn around now. This is how I feel about my other business outside of the insurance that God has called me to with PointSmart. I'm called to do this. I'm so close. Sometimes it feels like I can't. It's not working. But just like anything else, and what we're also looking at here, sometimes we're too far to turn around. I feel like I've gone too far to turn back. In our relationship as well, in our growth in the Lord, in the things that we're working through, there's a place where you get to where you may feel like you're not going to make it, but you've come too far to think that you need to turn around. Sometimes, honestly, that's such a good thing, because when I look at it and I line it up and compare it to that and I see what happened, with my eyes, I didn't feel that way. And it seemed pretty much like I should have turned around. Thankfully, I was at the point I was at. We have come too far in the Lord at this point to turn back. It is going to be seen through. And it's actually going to probably be better than you think it's going to be. You've come too far. You will absolutely make it to the finish. And if we've gotten to the place where we can't turn back, then just go forward. Go forward and see it through to the end, and watch that outcome be rejoicing. Watch it be that you don't miss out on those good things that that we had. My sister and I did not miss out today on the good things that God had for us and the special things that we found, the enjoyable time that we had together. It was not ruined. It wasn't what we thought. Just press forward, keep going. You've come too far, honestly, to turn around. Don't forget to find the word, and I will see you tomorrow.